It's the beginning of another weekend. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello, Tokwe Makontege.
Good morning. I want to sleep. I really want to sleep. Today is those kind of days where you just don't want to get up from the bed. I'm grateful to God for life. I'm personally facing the impact of multiple individual roadblocks. You know the way you are trying to get goods into a place, and then people will just jump out at this junction. God save you, you are passing through like 2 local governments. You will have like 5, you'll pay 5 different dues on the way. And these dues I'm not sure these dues make it into the government coffers. And it is part of the challenges a lot of entrepreneurs complain about, multiple taxation, that people pay taxes officially, then you pay several unofficial taxes to keep the peace within your environment. And the government needs to look into it, because if people are working, they won't be jumping in front of trailers and jumping in front of vehicles to extort money. It would really help.
They will tell you they're working.
Okay.
Government needs to do something about it. I agree.
Makes it look different.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Is this Tokwe?
It's not me, Abi.
It's all good.
It's all good now. You wear colors too.
How you doing, Mariam?
I'm fine. I'm grateful. It's the weekend. I'm looking forward to it. So.
Yeah, aren't we all? I'm excited.
Especially for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, the weekend. The whole weekend.
Yes. We're looking forward to it.
BC?
I'm doing amazing. I'll be hosting an old friend. He's coming in with his wife. He's going to be a part of tomorrow's getaway. So this particular guy was one of the guys that kept encouraging me at that time that, don't worry, he's your husband. And a few years down the line, I was still, when he sees me, he says, Madam, but I told you now. I told you now.
That's so
cool.
So
I haven't seen him in a while. And I'm happy his family is coming over, his wife, his kids. I'm going to be seeing the boys. I'm just getting the house ready for them.
Oh, fantastic.
Hang out tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you. How you doing?
I'm graduating tomorrow.
We all did the masters together.
Finally, going to be having my master's in media and marketing communications tomorrow. From the Pan-Atlantic University.
Come on.
Finally get the quality after 15 years. I shall get the quality to know that, yes, I mean, this legit, but it's just great to know that after I started this 2-year journey, and it's over. It's done. It's a lot of work. I had a lot of backlog during my mom's burial and all that. It just assignments back to so I've been doing that back to back for weeks now, trying to finish. But I'm so happy that I thought I was just going to get a paper because I had a few outstandings, but God helped me. I was able to submit. I mean, I was like, I really submitted everything. I'm just so happy.
You really tried.
You tried. You worked hard.
It's been crazy, but I thank God.
We saw your progress.
And there's something that comes with having experience and then doing your master's.
Because you've been in this industry since.
Yeah, it's more impactful. You actually know everything you've been
taught. Understood.
I understand.
Yeah. You've gone through
I get it. So it's really easy to flow in, and I'm thinking of PhD actually.
Hey, you're
own. I mean, when I saw this your glasses, I knew that we're headed.
Because there aren't enough of us in the academia, in media,
that have experience.
We have experience. So we have a lot of people who have the practical experience. We don't have the technical know-how and knowledge. And we don't even have science, the science of this art. We've not really explored it in Africa. So I think there's a lot of room for improvement, and I think I want to explore that.
I'm really cheering you on to go and do it. No, really, because she's been here and there and then.
See, after this one that I'm doing, nobody should give me scholarship. Nobody should call me to read anything. I need to rest.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, we go through the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Right. Starting with The Nation. Pressure on Buhari to reject electoral amendment bill. Nigerian investors lose 53 billion naira in 4 days. Why census should hold before 2023 general elections by NPC. LASU students activists to join Sanwo-Olu in peace walk. Ex-Senate President Wires dies at 80. 10 months after Emirates Airlines returned to Nigerian skies. And FG inaugurates 40.27 kilometers Enugu-Ebonyi Road. All right. Let's start with which story?
Census?
Go ahead.
Yes, so the National Population Commission yesterday explained why the nation's next census should before the 2023 general elections. According to the commission, it said they are proposing May 2022, and they have sent the budget to the government. They are waiting, the government to sign out on it. The president had already directed them in September that they should proceed with preparations for this census, and the exercise is projected to go up over 200 billion. So the MPC chairman is also saying that they are going to be carrying out a field work for a pre-test. That's not the main census, but a pre-test to, show them what they would be needing for the main census. The last census we had in the country was in 2006. We're supposed to have another one in 2016, and so far we haven't had any. But they are saying that they are quite flexible. So if by their projections May 2022 doesn't work, they can extend it a bit and accommodate the census. But we need to do a census in 2022. And we are looking forward to it.
All right. So if you recall, Emirates had barred flights from coming into Nigeria. So the announcement was made yesterday that its airlines will be open to Nigeria from its Nigerian gateways with daily flights, providing travelers from Nigeria convenient access to Dubai. So according to them, if you recall, the suspension was based on the fact that many Nigerians were not getting the authentic COVID-19. So they are designated specified laboratories for passengers departing Nigeria to take their test from. And once it's there, once they have their COVID-19 PCR test done, then they'll be able to access the airlines.
Yes. So I have the students of the Lagos State University, that's Ojo, have assured the governor of Lagos State that they are ready to go with him on the proposed peace walk that he's talked about. They said this during the commissioning of the new Students' Arcade, which they say is the largest student union building in any Nigerian institution today. The governor also donated 2 large buses to the Students' Union. The bus is supposed to help with easy transportation within the campus. And so the president of SUG, Comrade Oladipupo Badmus, said to the governor, "Sir, it is what you signed up for, but we are indebted to you. Rest assured that whenever you walk, we'll walk with you. We will be by your side. Whenever you run, we'll run with you to the end." There's also Mr. Shegun Awosoya, we know him as Sega Links. In an interview recently, he also said that he's willing to work with the governor if he's in the country, because for him, he stands for peace and equity and fairness. And this is the governor trying to bring about peace in Lagos, and he will join him on the walk.
INEC, yes. So the INEC, we know that they've been trying to pass a new bill. On the 9th of November, it passed from the House of Assembly, and it was sent to the president on the 19th of December, and the expectation was that the president would have sent the bill to come back so they can start implementing it towards the election. The crux of the issue is direct primaries or indirect primaries, and how expensive it will be. So pressure has come on the president not to sign the bill. Some people are alleging that it is a tool to carry out rigging. The House Committee on Finance, Honorable James Faleke said that there is no amount so expensive for us to spend on securing our democracy, because they're proposing that this bill and implementing this direct primaries might cost over 500 billion naira just for the elections. And the House of Assembly has said that they are willing to approve Nigeria borrowing funds in order to fund our democracy. So,
okay, moving on quickly now to the Punch. Omicron states resume testing, demand funds variant spreads to 23 countries. Man denying fatherhood, bribes rapes 70-year-old daughter in Ogun. Bribe-seeking Lagos policeman shoots woman, brutalized husband for complaining. PDP chieftain kicks as Kalu hosts National ESCO fuel defection rumor. Aisha Buhari advocates special court for rape and sexual violence cases. Buhari won't sign Electoral Act Amendment. APC plots rigging, says Wike. 21 humanitarian workers, 6 civil servants abducted in Borno. Borno, Osun, Okogi lead dirtiest states says clean up Nigeria. And 5G auction, Glow missing as NCC qualifies MTN, Airtel, and Newfem. Okay, which story are we taking?
Okay, I have the major headline. So we have by now have heard of the Omicron variant and, you know, the different steps everyone is taking. But for our state governments, they have said that the governors are saying they will resume testing, they'll increase it, and also they would, but they're also asking for funds from the federal government. They say they need more funds so that they're able to do better rural testing and also for the operation of the molecular laboratories. A few states, you know, were asked, and mostly that's, you know, what they're saying, that we're going to improve our testing and also make sure that people are following COVID-19 guidelines, but we do need funding to make this even more widespread. Then the World Health Organization is also saying that since we got the consignment for Johnson & Johnson vaccine, the federal government is yet to be able to send it to rural areas. Although World Health Organization says it's not just a Nigerian problem, there are some other African countries too who are having this problem of making sure these vaccines get to our rural areas and insecurity-prone areas. Yeah. So they're asking government to, you know, step up in that regard, because when the impact of that is that people who live in these rural areas don't understand the need to protect themselves, to follow the guidelines, you know, and things like that.
Let me take the story of Aisha Buhari speaking against sexual. So there's the second annual conference of the Nigerian Governors' Wives Forum. So there's something called Nigerian Governors' Wives Forum, and the president's, the wife of the president was speaking at the event. It was marking during the 16 days. You know, we have like an ongoing 16 days to speak up against sexual, gender-based violence. And in speaking against it, she advocates that we should have a special court for rape and sexual violence, that it's been so long in this government that we see slow justice taking place. She also, the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, spoke at the event and said there will be a secretariat that will be funded by the government for the Nigerian Governors' Wives Forum to help them better speak against sexual-based violence. She also advocated for one thing I feel it's impossible. It's sad that it hasn't been implemented fully in Nigeria. Not all the states in Nigeria have signed the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. So she said that every state in Nigeria should domesticate this act, and then let's start implementing it, setting up different gender-based violence units to ensure that justice prevails on anyone caught guilty of violence against women.
All right, so there's a human interest story that caught my attention. A 65-year-old man, Rojaye Balogun, for allegedly raping his 17-year-old daughter. Yeah. I think you're taking that story some time ago. Yeah. So the state commandant, Kolawole Taiwo, was parading this man, and he said that he noted that the suspect confessed to sleeping with his daughter, saying it was the work of the devil. Hey. That's before. He said the increasing cases of incest and violence against girls in the society have become worrisome. Parents, according to the Child Rights Act, have a duty to protect their children. So this is a father-to-daughter incest.
Very painful. There's another human interest story. A fashion designer.
We have to go on a break. When we come back, we'll take that story. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Right, we're moving on now to Daily Sun. Oh, there's a story you want to take.
Yes, so a fashion designer, Rukayat Salami, has been hospitalized after men of the Lagos State Police Command allegedly shot her in the stomach at a checkpoint at Lucky Fiber in the Ikorodu area of Lagos. So, according to her husband, said they were returning from, visiting one of their in-laws, and they came to a part where the police were, there was a the police were extorting drivers, tricycles and buses, And then this particular guy in front of them, the keke, was driving the keke napep, refused to give the police 100 naira. Right. And so they started shouting and fired the bullets. So they were passing by when the bullet hit the wife. And so when the wife now complained that something has happened, though, he checked and saw that the bullet had hit the wife, there was blood. He left her and ran to meet the police that, look at what you have done, you've just shot my wife. And then the guy started shouting at him and used the head of the gun to hit him and gave him, nearly blinded one of his eyes. So they quickly ran to the hospital. They had to transfer the wife to Lasut, and they've been taking treatment. They said they've spent over 150K. They have removed, it was 2 bullets that hit the wife. They had removed one. The other one, they said they cannot remove it because of the positioning of the bullet, but they are going to use medications to suppress it. And now he's calling the state police to, investigate and prosecute this policeman, that they ran away after he had reported to them that they shot the wife. Right. And nothing has been done. They have not heard anything from the police. Right. So now I think the police should look into this matter. It happened in Ikorodu. Yep. They need to they need to get them justice.
Moving on now quickly to Daily Sun. U.S. monitoring developments in Nigeria, says Ambassador. NCA approves opening of Anambra Airport. IPOB leader Kanu absent in court. Trial adjourned to January 18th. Last students pledged to participate in Sanwo-Olu's peace walk. Direct primaries, Rep summon INEC chairman, demand briefing on cost. Okay, which story are we taking?
So good news for the aviation industry and good news for people of Anambra State. The Anambra Airport, the NCA, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, has approved the Anambra International Cargo Airport for flight operations throughout this December. So those that are trying to get home will be able to do that. Though it is just they say this is a visual, I wanted to get that right, a visual flight rule, VFR. So it is only going to be allowed to, flights are only coming in sunrise to sunset. They were supposed to start this about 3 months ago, but because of letters of security challenge, that there might be security threats to the airport and people that will be in that area, they stopped. But now they have approval that every condition has been met for the first stage. It is not like full flight, but people can now fly to Anambra State using the Anambra International Airport. I know this will be good for traders, it will be good for commerce, and I'm happy that it's been implemented. Yeah,
so the Abuja division of the Federal High Court yesterday brought down the trial of the detained leader of IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, from January 19. So initially, the Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer had appealed that they wanted the case to be handled between November and December, but the judge is saying that this sort of case does not have a timeline. It has to follow procedures, and also there's a lot of backlog on cases that needed to be attended to. And so they found a way to, appeal to some people who are going to be having their own cases judged on the 18th and moved up his own. But also the court is ordering the state service. So first of all, he was not produced in court. We don't know why that has happened. And they're asking that they allow him practice his faith in custody, change his clothes, and be given maximum comfort in detention. The lawyer went ahead to say that what they are even charging him for is not something he did physically. It was just that he made some pronouncements, and they are using that pronouncement against him, that he's appealing that they discharge, they throw out the case and discharge it. But the court is saying we have to follow due process.
All right, so the United States Ambassador Mary Beth Leonard was speaking at the Nigerian Guild of Editors event, which is ongoing. I think it ends tomorrow here in Ikeja, Lagos State. She was making a note concerning the National Assembly passing the electoral bill to the president and waiting for his assent. And she was saying that the U.S. would not give the president any timeline to sign the bill, but expects a free, fair, and credible election in 2023. She says that concerns were expressed about environmental factors if the elections hold, and obviously people are quite concerned. And furthermore, she said that President Joe Biden would also be hosting a summit, a democracy summit for world leaders, obviously, to come together and sit down. That's not out of arrogance, but it's more of how do we learn from each other, because it's also clear that democracy in their own country, too, is a bit faulty. So they need to review and see how democracy can work across board for different nations around the world. Yeah. Any other story, Maria?
Yes, I have another story. So the INEC chairman is being invited by the House of Reps, largely to speak about what it would cost to go the route of direct primaries. You know that the bill has been passed and they're just still waiting for the presidential assent. But, you know, they're saying that lots of people are worried that the cost might be really huge, even though they see the positives, which is, you know, better involvement of people in the at the grassroots level. But how much will it cost? So when he comes and they have that conversation, then he's better able to explain to them what the cost implication of this new way would be. Okay,
moving on quickly now to Vanguard. Senate Aviation Ministry at war over new national carrier. One Nnamdi Kanu's case deserves political solution, says Ohaneze. NSAS, aggrieved women lay siege to Lagos Deputy Governor's residence. Over 90% of police officers in barracks lack befitting accommodation, says IGP.
Sad.
Apapa Gridlock, Lagos commences clearance operation today. COVID-19, Nigeria should be ready for more variants, says experts. And beheaded policemen in Anambra. Police have not told us what happened to our father.
So let me take the IGP story.
Okay.
Really sad. The Inspector General of the Nigerian Police, Usman Baba, represented by the Deputy Inspector General, DIG Logistics and Supply, was speaking and mentioned the fact that less than 10% of the police personnel in the barracks have proper accommodation. Now, our police force is currently 350,000 in staff strength, and he said that there is a plan annually to employ 10,000 more constable year on year, and that these people don't have access to proper accommodation. And it's really worrisome that in order to improve the quality, they say the state of disrepair and integrity failure in our barracks needs no emphasis. We are really in their need of befitting accommodation to help us tackle the art of policing the nation optimally. So obviously, this is a problem that every one of us know. It might be is also contributing to the fact that there's lack of morale in police officers, knowing that the accommodation isn't good. What is the government now doing? I did not get, but they are seeking partnerships. Maybe they want to make it available. Maybe they want to make land available to private individuals that run real estate development companies to cover bills. Yeah, in partnership, because the government can't do it alone, and they probably don't have enough funds. So that process should be open, it should be transparent, and they should be involved, because we can't start saying that the government should start bringing out the entire summit to cost them. But they can create a structure where each police will pay monthly, and then the construction will take place by private individuals.
And they have good homes to live in.
Yes, it is
so for the 18th time, Lagos State Government is going to be clearing the trucks at the Oshodi Apapa Expressway, December 3rd. I think that's today, as part of efforts to restore free flow of traffic. I mean, thank God the governor was there in that exit quite recently, I think yesterday. So the special advisor to the governor was saying, Mr. Toyin Fayinka was saying that sequel to the decision on NPA to start a new regime of empty container movement into the Sinkan Island, they hereby notify truckers that the Lagos State government, through the Office of the Special Advisor, will begin to clear and sanitize operations starting Friday to achieve the objective of maintaining a free flow of vehicular traffic around that. So I know it's not the first time we're hearing this.
We'll wait until like Wednesday, and they will
let's give it 1 week and see what happens, because you make an effort before you know it goes right back.
Yes, so our infectious diseases experts yesterday warned that Nigeria may record more COVID-19 variants if proactive measures were not put in place to ensure eligible Nigerians are vaccinated. So according to these experts, they said studies have shown that the way that we can get out of this sort of a pandemic is to ensure that there's herd immunity and everybody's vaccinated. And let's not relax and feel that, hey, lots of people are not catching COVID right now. These viruses are mutants. They mutate. So when you have that infection and you're transferring to the next person, you're not transferring the original one you had. It has learned something from your body and is going into the next person a different virus. And so if we do not vaccinate everybody, we're not just going to have a problem of not having COVID-19 for a while, but when they now come back, they are coming back in different forms, and we're going to be having a lot of, different names, different variants of COVID-19. And so we must ensure that the state works towards and also talking to people to understand that we need to be vaccinated. We're still having people not, abiding with all the COVID-19 protocols.
That's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we return, it's Friday, we have quite a few guests today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
thanks for staying with us. We love Fridays because we have our celebrities, but this time they're coming because of one fantastic partnership they have with StarTimes. So join us on the show to talk about the StarTimes partnership with the leading filmmakers to produce 2 blockbuster movies, namely Ilialayo and Okrika. The very well Mr. Femi Adebayo and Debo Adebayo, known as Mr. Macaroni. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having us.
It's good to have you.
Thank you so much for
So let me start with Mr. Femi Adebayo, because this Ilialayo and Okrika, is it a joint project, both of you, or are they individual? They're separate?
They're separate.
They're separate. So which one is yours?
Ilialayo.
Ilialayo. Tell us about Ilialayo.
Well, Ilialayo is a comedy flick, okay? It's a series. The concept is about Face Me and Face You, where you have different characters, competing characters in the house, okay? In that same house, we have a Muslim cleric, we have the pastor, we have we have
in the same compound,
soldier, we have prostitutes, we have so many, and Mr. African Freaky, you know, rented a room there, and he brought one of his freakies, you know, into them. So we have so many conflicting
personalities,
attitudes, and makes it so interesting. So, and you can start to imagine what it will look like.
Okay. Let me come to Mr. Macaroni and ask about Okrika. What is Okrika about?
Okrika is more about, well, Okrika. You understand? There's a market setting. You understand? And then you have different people, the politics in the marketplace, how they go about their different activities, then the people that also come, and then the chairman, this, that, you know, basically revealing the life of a market seller, especially one that is popular, well-known, controversial.
Okay. So I know that you people use a lot of big shots, known faces in this production. How was it working with them, and why did you decide to go for the very known faces?
Well, working with them was very, very exciting to, I must say. Because,
colleagues, anyway.
Yeah, aside being colleagues, you know, when we have professionals on set, you know, it makes your job easy. You know, interpretation of the roles, fantastic. And of course, they are extremely professional. Call time and all that, you know. But at the same time, looking at their time, I mean, their schedule has been the major challenge I had on that set. Ilialayo especially, you know, when you have big shots, like I have Macaroni on set, you know. And it's,
he's on set also?
He played a major role in Ilialayo. It's basically here because of Ilialayo.
So tell us about this your deal with StarTimes, because I mean, I know that they're working with, obviously StarTimes is trying to invest in Nollywood a lot. How did the partnership come about? Did you go to them or they came to you? What was that deal? Mr. Macaroni, would you like to take the floor on that?
Well, I think...
I'll be the best person to take the floor. Well, StarTimes has shown interest over the years of promoting local content, you know, and they reach out to content providers that, okay, now we're here, we want to promote those local contents, and if you have concept that you think we can, you know, fly together with, then come up. You know, so many of our local content providers have been to StarTimes and they've been working together. One is Ilialayo, the other one is Okirika, which is produced by Mukari and coordinated by Yabojo. You know, and so many like her head. You know, they're coming up with another reality show that's going to favor a lot of youths to get employed. So StarTimes has this this very, very soft spot for local content providers in Nigeria. So partnership with them is easy.
Yeah, so, okay, I wanted to build on that. This sort of collaboration just really shows where we're headed, that we're growing, we're developing. Do you think that many of the players in the industry are aware of this sort of collaborations, and are they tapping into this opportunity like you are?
Yeah, so many people, because if I remember vividly that this collaboration started from their meeting with Tampan as an association. Okay. Tampan Association met with StarTimes and they figured, look, you can't continue to bring foreign content, you know, and just make we local content providers just sit. And they say, okay, fantastic one. Okay, tell your members, tell other associations to come up with
ideas.
Investing.
See, I don't like that, because it's not like this. I mean, let me come to Mr. Macaroni, because what we've seen in the past is that people who have the funds go to individual producers to produce. But they went to town plan. That's the group that covers. So you know what? Come to us, and it makes me more formal that way. How did you get into this project with Ile Alayo? And was it Mr. Adebayo that invited you? Or how did you get a role? What exactly?
Oh, well, yes. Mr. Femi Adebayo is the producer. And, you know, I'm a guest artist, you know, I'm a guest artist on both shows. So I was simply called upon to come and act.
So you did not audition?
So, well, there's what you call, I'm sure there's what we call table casting. And of course, I'm sure the producers must have looked at it and said, oh, maybe Mr. Macaroni can play this role or this other role. So that's how it came about. I was contacted, I looked at the script, it was a beautiful one, and I agreed to be on the podium.
So what should Nigerians expect from this, you know, project that is coming up? When is it coming up? When should we look out for it?
Okay, for Ile Alayo is coming up on the 6th, that is the Monday. Start to, on StarTimes, on Wakati TV. Quite a number of people will say, I don't have StarTimes, I don't have StarTimes. Yes. But it's easy. Now, I think their decoder is very cheap to, buy, to get. Now, you want the decoder, I think they have one of 8974. And it's even very easy. You can download the app.
Oh,
that's the most easiest.
That's what we do
StarTimes on, you download the app, then from there you can watch online at your own convenience. But it starts to stream from the 6th of December. You know, Ile Alayo starts to stream on 6th of December.
Is it a series or is it a movie?
It's a series.
It's a series. I love series.
And Mondays to Wednesdays from 7:30
p.m.
Yeah.
Mondays to Wednesdays.
Mondays to Wednesdays. So you can't miss it. And Okirika starts to stream from the 9th of December.
Okay.
You know. So
this is Happy Christmas for us.
Oh, yeah, exactly. This is Christmas gift coming from StarTimes to our people.
That's awesome.
So I hope, aside from these two projects, do you know if StarTimes is still going to continually invest in Nollywood, or this is just one of those one-off projects they're going to do?
They're not stopping. Like, I have a privileged information that they're going to commit some other content providers as well. And of course, they're using this opportunity to even call on more.
To come.
Let's see what we can do together. They are here to promote local content providers. And for me, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Any other thing you want to tell us before we go? Any final words on this?
For me, I would of course want the public to be ready to see fantastic performances from Mr. Macaroni, for example. Ile Alayo has Mr. Macaroni. We have Brother Shaggy.
He's the crazy one that came with his friend, I'm sure.
We have Woli Agba. So we have Woli Agba and his son. And we have Adebayo Salami. We have Olaya Higwe. We have Dele Ojule. We have Shotayo Gaga. We have Messi Aigbe. Odu Adekola.
Oh, fantastic.
We have Lateef Adedimeji. We have Lee Johnson.
In fact, it's so hard we have now.
So you can imagine what you will see.
So that makes it that question: how did you people work together?
In fact, even the behind the scenes guys content.
Exactly. The behind the scenes was crazy because the production manager had so much issues pulling us together because we were just having fun. We were just playing. And that got to me because money was running. But I must use this medium to tell the entire public that they should appreciate StarTimes, coming to pick up and work on our own, local content providers, and there's no way to appreciate them more than, buying the decoders, patronize them, because if they get encouraged, they will do more.
Yeah, absolutely.
You understand?
Thank you very much.
And of course, it's easy. Download StarTimes app and you continue to watch this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you, Mr. Macaroni, for joining us.
Thank you.
That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, move on to other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
explain whether. So, Twins Day Festival is an annual non-governmental event designed to celebrate the beauty and uniqueness of twins through music, performance, competition, exhibition, art, culture. This festival has remained the most prestigious and largest gathering of twins on the African continent to date. Joining us to discuss this event are the set of twins Taiwo and Kehinde Oluwafunsho. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Good morning.
You're like one of the most popular twins in Nigeria. Everybody know you. Nigeria knows you. That this is
Nigerian
twins in this country, and you've always been pushing this event, this agenda. I know that you're working so hard to make this twins not just an annual event in Nigeria, but globally, because Africa, I mean, even Nigeria is, I think it's even Yoruba culture. It's it's like the #1 culture that has twins. So tell us about this event and why it's so important for us to celebrate twins. I'm not sure which to start with.
Yes, I think, thanks you very much. We're happy to be here this morning. You know that twins have always been special to the Yorubas. Yes. Twins are always special to Africans. Yes. Because twins life is all about culture. And of the 950 million Africans, there are 20.5 million twins, meaning that Nigeria has the largest concentration of twins in the whole world. That's wow.
That's wow.
Now, we have to celebrate twins because twins are so special. We now came up with this idea of celebrating twins because of their cultural values, because of their tourism potentials. Nigeria is not really gaining much from tourism because the government focus so much on oil. Ghana is getting much from tourism. Gambia is getting much from tourism. But our government, they are missing it. Imagine a country that has the largest concentration of twins in the whole world, and you don't know the value. In the US, in the Institute of Ohio, twins gather in the month of August in Ohio to celebrate twins. Imagine what Americans gain from that. But we are crazy about oil. And oil is drying up. So we are determined to celebrate twins. Yes. Government, no government. It's a vision. So come 5th of December, we are going to celebrate twins.
Wow.
So, I always prayed for twins because my grandmother came from a family that they had twins. So I was hoping since she didn't have, maybe it will come to me. But fortunately and unfortunately, it didn't happen. Maybe the next one. But what are some of the things we would see when we come for this twin celebration? Are they going to have a batch of twins displaying themselves? Go ahead. How is it going to be?
Yes, it is a day that we have set aside to celebrate twins. Celebrate the beauty of twins, uniqueness of twins, cultural values, as I said. And twins are going to come from all angles. They are coming from Ghana, Sierra Leone, and South Africa. Wow. Twins are coming from all over Lagos. Twins are coming from all across the land. To celebrate twins on that day, you are going to meet different twins in all class and ages. Beautiful twins, shortest, tallest, great twins.
You know, you said something. This is a serious. I mean, if this concept is in a different country, the likelihood have invested so much in it. You might just imagine one day it's a Twins Day where everybody's dressed up nicely. You have mascots, you have arts, you have culture. Everywhere is masquerade. Is doubled. You know, because we celebrate it. So it's good that you're pioneering this. But have you got any support from government and other organizations to support this cause?
The government, they are not encouraging. The people in government, I don't know. We are begging them to support. But we are determined men. Support government or no government. We have been on this thing for years. Yeah. The 2029 edition was the largest. 2019 edition was the largest in the world.
In Africa?
Yes, in Africa. We have foreigners coming. Wow. And government don't deem fit to support.
Maybe because there are no twins in the government.
No. That's not the issue. You look at the economic situation of this. No matter, some people in government are breasts of twins, some of them are twins. But you know, people, we have division. That's why we are passionate about this. So, you understand? So really, government has not been supporting us. Okay. We have been doing this out of our own pockets. So I'm sure other people, our friends that are much, you know, that believe in this vision. Friends have been of help. I'm telling you, and I want to use this opportunity to thank our friends. that have been so supportive over the years. You know, they are good friends that believe in this vision. God always says
let me just quickly ask,
let
me just quickly ask if triplets, you know,
yes,
multiple births. Is this just for twins?
Yes, you know that this started, this are an NGO for twins. 70% of people that have twins in this country are poorest of the poor. So this is an NGO that's just as much as possible to accommodate, develop those poor twins to be economically independent. Wow. So along the way, we designed the Twins Day Festival to correct some misformation and misconception people have about twins. Another multiple. So we accommodate twins, we accommodate triplets, we accommodate triplets, anything multiple, we accommodate them.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
So as BC asked earlier, what else should we look for? The music?
Yes, on that day, we are going to have Uriki Beji. We are going to have AY Beji because twins are very... They actually beans. We are going to have most identical twins competition. A set of twins won 2019 most identical twins competition. That one Kainde and Yonuola. We are going to have twins coming in with lots of gifts, talents. We are going to have twins rap jam. We are going to have twins coming from the most farthest place. We are going to have a lot of competition. We are going to have
media coverage. I mean, do you expect to see on? Are we going to see it on TV, on social media? You have all this covered also?
Yes, we are, and we are using this medium to invite the TVC to come and cover the largest concentration of Twins Day Festival
in one place.
The Freedom Park. 5th Sunday.
Freedom Park.
Yes, Freedom Park.
Fantastic. Yes, Uncle Theo.
Yes, Uncle Theo has been a very great supporter of this vision. Yes, and we are looking forward to the Lagos State government to come and support this because it will
Ministry of Arts and Culture.
Ministry of Arts and Culture and the office of the Lagos State Governor, the Chief of Staff, because it will increase the traffic of international visitors and tourists into this nation. As I said, Ghana has cocoa gold. I've never seen cocoa or gold in Ghana, but I've always been seeing tourists. Tourists.
There's somewhere in the year they have this yearly tomato day.
You can make it. And Nigeria actually has the largest number of organic trees, and that's a big deal.
Part of that
we should celebrate it. On this show alone, we have 2 Yabejis. Like,
you should have the third one.
You have to say that. So we are going to have a lot of events on that day.
She gets twins first. We announce it. My own give the anointing to her.
So that day is going to be a great day. Twins are going to have 12 time
we have to wrap up with you. Thank you so much.
On the 5th of December at the Freedom Park. At Freedom Park.
Yes,
Broad Street, Lagos Island.
Yeah, it'll be great to have. That's a room full of twins. It's so beautiful. I can say.
So much.
I love to see the pictures. I wish you guys stream it live. We'd love to see it on social media. We can help you to retarget. That one I can do easily.
Thank you so much.
It's so nice to see grown men wearing some clothes.
Our wives are twins, you know. We met our wives on the ground of the Twins Day Festival.
Oh, your wives are twins?
Wow. Yes. We met them on the ground of this Twins Day Festival in 2004.
Yes.
They came from Ilorin, Kwara State. They came.
No.
We got children and they are doing our wives.
Oh, really?
Do you have twins too?
Let me tell you. I don't know why God has not been able to them. It's never in our plan. It's never our plan, original plan to marry to twins.
Okay.
But we are not getting right with ladies that are not twins. His own relation, his own girlfriend then will accuse him that he's too much attached to you. My own lady would accuse me that I love my two more than her. So we always experiencing failure. They say, God, what do you do? God said, go and marry twins. And they came on our Twins Day Festival in 2004.
And now you are married.
So twins will come to this Twins Day Festival, come and pick your wife. Yes, a lot of beautiful twins are coming, and those that want to marry twins, a lot of twins.
Okay, so singles can come to one and pick twins.
Come and pick them.
Okay, now, all right, you heard it, all the twins. Nigeria has the largest concentration of twins on the planet. So if you need to, if you want to, I totally agree that this is an exportable tourism revenue for Nigeria. I think it's something we can actually bring in foreigners from all over come and see to display this beauty of twins that we have in this country. So it's something we should invest in. I can understand that the government is really, really tired of other things, but this is an important...
considering it.
This is something that is really important that we try to encourage it. Thank you so much for being on our show today. We wish you the best, and we'll be looking out for it on social media.
Thank you.
That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we'll move on to other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be...
Thanks for staying with us. So, International World Disability Day is celebrated every 3rd of December. Join us on the show to discuss is a gender disability advocate who is also visually impaired, Eleanor Boyer. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hi, good to have you on the show. So I know you wanted us to talk especially because of the discrimination, verbal discrimination against people living with disability. And how it affects their psychological and emotional well-being. Tell us about this your advocacy that you're trying to do.
Okay, so we are in a country where gender people mistake gender for sex. Meanwhile, sex is biologically proven, while gender is just a social construct that sets limitations and achievements for individuals. So talking about persons with disability and the discrimination they face. So a woman with disability has like 3 problems: a gender, a social status, then a disability.
Hey.
So disability, according to the UN, is defined as a long-term mental, physical, sensory, or intellectual impairment, which in interaction with various barriers may not be able to function fully on an equal basis due to their disability. And based on, according to the World Health Organization and the World Bank, we can see that 15% of the world's population would face one form of disability or the other. With all of that being said, persons with disability face a lot of violence. So, for example, we have emotional and psychological violence, we have sexual violence, we have physical, we have socioeconomic, and so on. We have harmful traditional practices. So I'm here to talk about emotional and psychological violence. And we all understand the importance of word. What is power? What is everything? And you can make or mar a person with the words you use to address such a person. So we have persons with hearing impairments. People say they are deaf and dumb. Imagine somebody in suit already walking into a company about to be interviewed and like, oh, you are deaf and dumb. You've demoralized the person, which is very wrong. We have persons with sensory impairment, we have the autistic patient and all of that, and you say, oh, he's an imbecile. And, you know, people say these things.
So you're saying the labeling. So
yes, the way we label them, the words we use. Yes, you see.
You want to teach us how, because for many people, it's not also that it's a lack of empathy or sympathy. It's just that they don't even know what the appropriate words to use. Could you please enlighten us on how to better address people?
Yes, so instead of saying a disabled person, you can say a person with disability. Instead of saying a special person or a regular person, because saying special is not inclusive. Even if it sounds appealing to the ear, it's not inclusive. Just say a person with disability. People on wheelchair, you say persons using wheelchair or persons. Just put the persons before the disability, because we are people first before our disability. Persons with visual impairment.
Awesome. You're very beautiful. So when I walked in this morning, I saw you, and I was like, who is this fine girl? I didn't notice anything, honestly. And I know that sometimes when you approach people and you see them, the first thing you see is the disability and not the person. What are some of the things that we can begin to do to educate ourselves so that we use the appropriate words and also communicate it to younger people, because we are modeling out, they are seeing what we are doing, and that's why the society keeps having people who do not believe or who do not support persons with disabilities. What can we begin to do as a people to show more empathy, not sympathy now, but more empathy and relate to them better?
Yes, so it begins there. When you come across a person with disability, and you can ask 2 questions. First of all, you introduce yourself. Oh, my name is Eleonora. How do you need help? Okay. If they tell you yes or no, okay, how can I help you? And sometimes people actually stay away from persons with disability because they think disability is contagious. I don't know how they believe that. Well, culture, stereotype, beats, and different things. So when you are in a place with a person with disability and a person without disability, and they use the wrong word, if you are enlightened, correct the person. No, don't say it this way. This is the correct thing to say. And
so I wanted to. I know that many of us got our first interaction with persons with disability when we were all young, you know, in primary school, in secondary school, and sometimes it might help if we are able to educate our teachers. Right now, we're educating our parents, people watching. Is there anything that is being done to educate teachers, maybe in the curriculum during the teacher training, or talking to schools to ensure that there's an enabling environment that supports persons with disability and teaches the children to be more empathy, to be more empathetic towards people like that when they are in the same environment with them?
Yes, we can adjust the curriculum to suit that. Although in Lagos State currently, they are training teachers across the state on how to interact with students and children with disability.
Inclusive education.
But this is the thing. So after they train them, most times they send them to inclusive schools. That's the schools for children with disability. They don't take them back to regular school. So you just, it's like you are teaching somebody that already knows something about that thing they know. We should send them out. So
all the teachers are aware.
Yes. So while you understand how to interact with a child with disability, you can also teach the fellow students on how to interact with such a child to avoid growing up and not understanding things like this.
Okay, we have to wrap up on this, but let me...
let me just add a little... have you gone?
Okay, I just wanted to ask what you think. Recently, Obiajulu conducted a web event, and we talked about children living with disabilities. And one of the things spoken about was including children. I'm sorry to use the word, I just don't know how to, the better word to use, but in regular schools. You know, children living with disabilities in regular schools, it's better for them than putting them in separate schools. But people, you know, a lot of people think it's best to put them in those separate schools because that's where they'll get the better care. What do you think? Is it special schools or just regular schools?
Okay, so according to the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability, it describes discrimination as a distinction, exclusion, or restriction of a person based on disability to access equal social, economic, and cultural rights. That has excluded the person. We know that we're trying, I understand that government is trying to make children with disability get the best knowledge they can. But as a visually impaired person, I attended Queen's College, I attended Command Secondary School. I'm currently, I just graduated from University of Lagos. And these are not just special schools or schools that are meant for persons with disability. They are schools that everybody has access to. So I think if we want to do good and we want to make sure that everybody is as inclusive as possible, then we should mix children with disability with children without disability. In fact, we should include sign language into the knowledge, because English is important, because English is our official language here. Also, sign language is important, because imagine me meeting a person with hearing impairment on the road. How do I communicate with that person? But there are few people that can do that because they studied maybe special education in school, or they went to a different center to learn it. So inclusiveness should cut across every form.
That's really true.
So I know that UNESCO and all that are working towards inclusive education. There are policies backing this up in education, which is one of the things that my program was, highlighting. But unfortunately, it's just, the way Nigerians do their things, we're still not adjusted and adapted. But I know that there are some schools in Nigeria who already operate the inclusive education. That means everybody is in the same classroom, whether you have a form of disability or not. And the teachers are trained to be able to handle all children. And so I wanted to add that because I know that it's work in progress.
Yes,
we will get there at the end of the day. But things are already being done.
Thank you very much for joining us, Eleanor Abolo. It's such a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Show, and we'll continue to support you in any way you want us to remind Nigerians that we don't discriminate against persons living with disability. It's a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you.
You're beautiful.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll move on to other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. All right, so we got a message from a lawyer living abroad, and she was quite concerned about the rising cases of divorce amongst Nigerians living abroad. They said that there are factors like no access to family support in the diaspora, and says sometimes they have issues with helping around the house. And they said, according to the lawyer in Canada, there are about 50 cases of divorce proceedings at the moment, and Nigerian couples are topping the chart. Now, we've discussed this matter before, right? It's not new. But we got this distress call from this lawyer in Canada specifically, and they were saying that, listen, we need to have a conversation around why successful or seemingly successful marriages in Nigeria, when they finally migrate to Canada and they're abroad, within 2 years, things totally disintegrate. So what is happening? What exactly is wrong? Is it the new system? Is that the foundation was faulty? Or what exactly is in the new world that is causing two adults not to be able to stay together in their marriages? And that's really our talk for the next 30 minutes. You can join the conversation on 081-270-53687, 091-390-76948. You can also send us message on YouTube and Facebook. We'll be happy to read your message. And please, if you're in the abroad, this is your call. Please call us. We'd like to know what's going on. If you have a successful marriage, please call us, because we need to know how you're doing it. Because this distress call was just too much. Taka, I'd like you to go ahead, please.
Let me start. So, one of the things that every plant, nature, prepares you for a condition, an environment. So, a cocoa has where it does well, if it functions well. You know, you have palm trees that, if you go to the Niger Delta, that's Edo Delta, that's palm for you. Ondo palm. There is an area for cashew that you know this is where cashew is. I can love groundnuts. I can't come and plant groundnuts in Lagos. There are areas that are meant for groundnuts. So the environment is important to how well something would do. So Nigeria has produced 2 full adults, and they've done well in Nigeria, seemingly doing well. Everything is going on fine. And then you uproot that cocoa tree and take it to Canada, where there is snow. There is all the things that should make the cocoa blossom is no longer available. The cocoa needs to adapt, or else cocoa will die. So I think that most marriages refuse to adapt to the environment where they move to, and then death happens to them.
Yes, so that's the show. Yeah, finish it. Let's go home. Because really, the analogy you do does make sense.
Yes.
You know, I mean, that's really brilliant. Yeah. But you see, if that is using the fruit, what if soil? Soil is the same in America, Nigeria, and it's still soil, it's still manure, it's still the same process, right?
There are different types of soil.
But it's still soil you need.
Soil,
so there are different kinds of
how to adapt.
The point is, there are different kinds of marriages. There is the what they call the polygamous marriages. There is a rich. So there are different types of soils. But the objective of the soil is to grow the plant, right?
Yes.
So as long as you're in soil, regardless of where you are, your job is to grow the plant. That's the analogy I'm using. I'm using your example that you can be the fruit, or you can choose to be the soil. That I am, even though I'm a Nigerian soil in this place, my job is I will grow the kind of plants I can grow in Canada.
Exactly.
I'll grow a Canada plant. I am a soil. I will grow it. So I'm just using that analogy in a different way, which is also
let me use another analogy, which is oxygen is oxygen everywhere in the world. And marriage is marriage everywhere in the world. Marriage is something that was created by, God, and is universal. When we understand that the oxygen we breathe in Nigeria is the same oxygen we're going to breathe in Canada, we'll make room for it to breathe. Okay, you go there and you see that, okay, maybe I need to wear a certain type of mask to be able to breathe it properly. Then you adjust, you wear that mask because it's still the same air. You still have the responsibility to breathe it in and breathe it out. That's your responsibility. So what I see is that when marriage gets abroad, because right here, what we term as success is where it seems like one person takes more of the responsibility of keeping the home, and the other person goes ahead to, okay, I'm the man, I'm bringing in the money. That's how we define successful marriages. When you now get to a different climb where the dynamics have changed, everybody's now going to work, everybody's working. Here we can afford to have house helps, have grandma here, grandma there, I'm going out, take care of my kids. You go there, you are alone. This is where the essence of marriage should come in. Companionship, teamwork. You're working together as a team. That means when I'm cooking, you're helping me with the dishes because nobody would do it for us. But if you now think with the mentality that you came with, that it will work without the dynamics you came with, so you want to take the fruit without the sacrifice, it won't work. That's where we have an issue, and I think that is what we should be addressing. The mindset of men and women when they want to leave the shores of this country should change. Have a conversation. We're going to talk about this. You know, there now, I can afford to have one Iyaka here and have this person here. We are going to be on our own. How do we address it? So we don't have those sort of conversations, and then we get there, and everybody's expecting, it's your job now. You are the one to do this. You are the one to do that. Of course, we're going to have issues. Even here, we have issues in marriages where people are expecting that this job is meant for you. This is your responsibility.
Gender
that is your gender roles. So you go there and you have this conversation. There's no in-law that will call you and blame one person. You have to fix it yourself. So let's have that conversation.
I sat down with a lady who lived abroad or most of her life, met her husband abroad. They lived in America, she said, and then the husband got a really good job in Nigeria and he moved, and she wasn't happy. She said their marriage had changed. She said where they used to spend time and do everything together, they would sit, they would organize their day together, things were different. She said, yes, she lives in a bigger house now, she has help, but she doesn't see her husband anymore. He's always out with the boys, hanging out. Yes, there's money, she can buy a lot of things, but he's not there anymore. So that's why your analogy just makes sense, which is when you move something from one place to the other, then you need to look for all the things to adapt, to adjust, or you die. And the important thing now is, if we understand that first this is a marriage and we want to be together, what are the tools that we need to adapt? What are the tools that we need to, as we always say every day, is communication, is comprehension, is caring. Do I care enough about you to want to sit down and have this conversation concerning what we need to do differently? And Nigerian men abroad open to that conversation with their wives that have joined them. Our Nigerian women open to the conversations with their husbands abroad, like, this is different. Yes, I used to be the one that would bring in the bread when we're in Nigeria. Now you have to, you have to step in one way or the other. And she says, okay, I'm willing to do it, but you still want me to come home and cook and clean and everything. How do you help me in that, in that situation? So until, I think what is happening is there's pride, probably stubbornness, refusing to communicate. And that would affect, using your analogy, it will affect plants anywhere if you refuse to do the work that's needed to be done. If you had a plant somewhere where it didn't need so much care,
rain will fall on it, or sun, and everything, and it will thrive. There's a place where you need to use, if you move it, you use your hands, you need to care for it daily. Are you prepared to take up those tools to work on your marriage, to make sure it works, given your new environment?
So one of the analogies that we used earlier, I think for BC, was that here, for example, in Nigeria, the external support you get is maybe your in-laws, either positive or negative, right? But abroad, the external support you get is the system.
Yeah.
The system is for you, especially as a woman. The system supports you wholeheartedly. So you know that, okay, if I demand that you have to clean the house, if I demand, I can demand it. But you are coming from a place where once your in-law calls in or somebody, the system so the social system supports you here, but over there is the American system. So how does a man or woman switch? It's so difficult to switch, to know, okay, right now, I have a whole government, like if I call 911 and say this man has refused to do this, he can be arrested and queried because he's not taking care of his children, maybe a certain amount of money. But here, I can't do that. So how do I feel empowered? I'm in Canada now. I am an empowered woman. I can demand. You're not doing anything in America, Nigeria. I can demand that you do something. Shouldn't I use that empowered system for the betterment of my children? Or I'll say, oh, because I'm African, let me not call the police, so let me just manage ourselves. Is that the wisdom we're asking women to go with when they live abroad? Have I lost you?
No. Okay, so what I think you're saying is, and my understanding is, as you mentioned, in Nigeria, the system is the family. So your family will step in and help to solve the issues, whatever they are. Or when you live abroad, the system, is the system. And usually their own is even more stringent. His divorce and his alimony and his child support quickly. So I don't think any reasonable married couple that have loved each other and wanting to work out will just go there immediately, just want to jump on a system to make sure we're divorced. It has to be continuous breakdown of communication. And the person will only reach out to the only system that they can reach out to. Usually, there'll be lots of calls back home to Nigeria. Mommy talked to him, daddy talked to him. Everybody is trying to chip in. Eventually, that person, either the husband or wife, relies on the system. In Africa, where we say marriage is a family affair, so you have everyone speaking and speaking, but we still have Nigerians going to court here now. We still have them going to... But we now use a difference because the system does not really implement or you are unable to implement it. They say find different ways where they will say, tell a woman, you stay longer than you really want to stay in a home because you need to make sure you provide security for your children. There, you know that immediately you're unhappy and you have discussed all the different options, it's not working, you can leave and still there'll be security for your children. It's just different things. And
okay, so let me come in. I get what you're saying. And in the society here, when you divorce, in most cases, the woman loses. It is when things have become extremely threatening that things now deteriorate and the divorce would happen. Over there, in developed countries, the system supports a woman that when you divorce, she doesn't lose. As long as the man has a good job, you will pay my rent, you will pay child support, and my income will still be supporting me. So the system supports, it defends that woman. And so it's a case of, if we're in Nigeria, you can get away with this one. We are here now, you cannot get away with what you're doing. So there's a difference in what is going on there. I also believe that
should a woman embrace that option or not embrace that option? What happens
is most women tend to embrace that option, which is bad, and it is based on the environment you keep. When everybody, I was in the US recently, and a man was telling me that these people that you met, because I was saying I met these girls in Atlanta. I said these people that I've deliberately kept my wife from meeting them because everyone that meets them, they divorce. They are a clique of empowered divorcees. They club, they have fun. When you meet them, you see the love, the happiness, the joy. They have their children. They drop their children with their spouse 2 times in a month. They are living the life. You begin to think that being single and being free to mingle everywhere is attractive and that they keep growing in size, that he's seen them. And he knows that anybody that relocates here will say, don't let your wife get close to this group of people because they will negatively influence you. But if you stay with the family-oriented ones, you adopt mechanism to empower your marriage to flourish. So I think Nigerians should start creating a hub of themselves. That's what works with Indians. The Indians have a circle of, all of us are Indians, we support each other. If Nigerian happy marriages protect themselves, you would absorb the good in that environment rather than absorbing the division around.
Calling in from London. Good morning, Ade. Are you there?
Oh, let's hear.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
Very good. Go ahead, please. You're live.
I think I will agree with Topper analogy. It really, really makes sense because there's a different scenario when you live in diaspora. And when you are married now for 32 years, I thank God everything is fine. Not that there is no up and down, but we are fine. But what I'm saying is this. Majority of the issues, it tends to do with the ladies. Sorry to say that, because of ego. Because in diaspora, ladies are respected more than the male. Because whatever they say, the government believes them than the husband. So when they notice that, as soon as they come from Nigeria, when they notice that they have the upper hand, then they misbehave. So the husband will not be able to control her anymore. Not that because somebody is in Nigeria, the husband, the wife is in America, and they are not communicating, they are not happy. No. There are many people that they got job in Nigeria, their spouse is here, and they are fine. So it is less for the ladies. If the lady is submissive, no matter the salary or whatever, then the marriage will go on fine.
Mr. Ade,
listen to the man.
Mr. Ade, please, let me stay with you for a second. Please explain to me what control means. When you say a man is able to control, help me define what it means.
I'm not hearing you properly.
So when you say that when they come abroad, the men are unable to control, many people would like to understand what you mean by that. So it's not relative.
Oh my God, this network. What I mean by
control. What does control mean to you? What's control?
Okay.
Between spouses, yeah.
Let me explain to you. I think Tokwe has just said something similar. For example, you are here in diaspora, you are married, everybody is happy, and one day your wife just came and said, one of our colleagues, our friend's friend, he's having a party in Paris, and you are in London, and she would like to go there. And you now say, no, we can't go to Paris for that party. I have an appointment, I'm going somewhere. Oh, he's going to stay at home. The lady said, no, I have to go. It's my close friend. I have to go. And she left for Paris. That marriage will start to crack from that place. That man will not notice it because this lady is now earning good money. She has seen life. She's exposed. Then the media will come. Men doesn't like that. Men doesn't like that. But are you still forgetting your illustration one day on this place? When you say you are decorating your children's room with your children, and your husband came into the house and said, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And you say, okay, children, let's take it down. Let's take it down. Immediately you are taking it down, your husband came and say, okay, you can do it now. That's women. That's what we like.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Ade, for clarifying that for us. I wanted to know what he meant by that. So, so a Nigerian man, especially those abroad, is saying, listen, the kind of respect you have for my decision, that when I tell you something in Nigeria, and I say, okay, you're not going to that party, and I give you my reasons, and you find it easily to accept when you're here. When you go abroad, and I say, you're not going for that party, I expect you to give me that same regard. Don't question why I'm saying that. Don't begin to feel you can challenge my decision that you're not going to that party. That's the issue. That's the definition of crime. I wanted to be sure I understood that.
So
yes,
I think what I am seeing, and I may be wrong, is a lot of women are waking up from oppression. They are now seeing, when you have a system that supports you, you are likely to be more assertive, to say, this is really what I want and I want to have it. But when you are coming from a system that really doesn't support you, the crux is on you to build a home. Whether the man is at fault or not, you are the wife. Go back and apologize. Go back and build the home. Go back and say sorry, just like we discussed yesterday. And then you swallow it. And it's okay, I have to build a home. If I leave now, the society will blame me. They won't even ask me what happened. Why didn't you build your home? And then you go to a place that does not shout at you and say, go back and build the home. But say, okay, you have legitimate concerns. Let's talk about it. So it gives women more confidence to say, you can't just treat me anyhow now. This is not like before. This is a foreign land. You have to listen to me too.
So my question is, why? So I want you to stay on that.
Okay.
So why are men finding it difficult, therefore, to accept that we're in a new place? The way I used to talk to BC in Nigeria, I can't talk to her like that anymore because she is protected by the system. Why is a man finding it difficult to relate with you differently?
Because it's their wiring in this country. Their wiring is that they are the man, they are the authority, they are in control, they must take charge. That's the wiring.
And the wiring of women is to submit, is to be flexible.
You be flexible, you don't argue, you are the one to compromise, not the other way. Now they go to a system where we are seen as equals. I am me, you are you, we are coming together to work. If we do not work as a team, we're going to have issues. Nobody is going to
and they're carrying the social construct of Nigeria.
Exactly, that's where the problem is. But I also wanted to say something that some women are beginning to, some Nigerian women that I've heard are beginning to complain that they see these Nigerian men marry foreign women and treat them different.
Yeah.
Yes. They say they treat them different. You see them, they are loving, they are caring. They do not use the sort of words they use on them. Now, why can't they, as Nigerian women, get the same form of treatment? So the thing is, you marry a foreigner. You know the laws of the land. You obey the laws of the land. You form the love and the respect because of what you're getting. You marry your own person and you feel, is it not you? We came from the same place now. We came from the same village now.
We'll come to that. Let me take this call from Manchester, then I'll come to that. Good morning, are you there? Hello, good morning, are you there?
Morning.
Share, you're live. Go ahead, please.
That's great. So I was just going to say, well, I'm trying to contribute.
I can't hear you. Go ahead, please.
So, all right, okay. So for me, anyway, I came to the UK at the age of 18. I'm 40 now. The first thing I've noticed is not so much of the control. I just think naturally, like the previous caller did say, the government supports the woman more, and I think it creates. Can you hear me?
Yes,
I can.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead, Sheikh.
All right. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can. Go ahead, please.
Okay. So the system does definitely support the women more than the men. And are you still struggling to hear me?
As if we cannot hear him.
It was quite difficult to hear him.
Talking about the system.
Yes, he's still there.
I agree with the last caller saying that the system supports the women more, but he was getting so. Is he still there?
I thought it was still there. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I was going to say that we all know that marriage is as they say, socio-economic construct. So, and then every explanation really, just further reiterates that analogy. So we have a socio-economic construct here in Nigeria where a man provides and a woman submits to that provision. So you find some marriages where a man is unable to provide and the woman says, it's not like you're doing anything anyway. But a man is supposed to provide. He goes out, he works hard. And to show her appreciation for his working hard and for his provision, he does what he wants of her. So that's a good wife and that's a good husband. Simple. Now you go to a different place. And the socioeconomic construct there is more, we work together, we provide for each other. And so the show of appreciation has to be regard for each other. There is no leader and follower in this relationship. We are partners in this relationship. So if I have decisions to make, I will show you respect by having a conversation with you about it, and then maybe we'll come to a compromise. But it's very much unlike the Nigerian construct where the man can just say, you know what, you said you were going somewhere. I just don't feel like you should go anywhere. We hear a lot of Nigerian wives actually say, I would love to go, but my husband has said no. Why did he say no? I don't know.
He doesn't feel comfortable.
I will work on it. Don't worry, I'll work on it. Abroad, there's definitely no, well, he has said no because blah, 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 blah.
Give you reasons.
And, and I think I see reason or I don't see reason, But
we're coming. He's not coming, but we're coming.
Yeah, but we're coming. So the thing is, I think communication will work wherever it is that you find yourself. That sort of relationship where you both respect each other, you ask each other, you communicate, you comprehend each other, will work also in the Nigerian sphere. In fact, it will make it even richer and more interesting.
Let me take this call from Bisola. I've been holding for a while. Bisola, are you there from London?
Yes, I can hear you.
Very
good. Morning, ladies.
Good to have you on the show. Go ahead, Bisola, you're live.
Oh, it's so low. I can't really hear you. Good morning.
We can hear you clearly. Go ahead, please.
Oh, okay. Good morning. So good to hear from you, to see you guys. This is a very interesting topic. I really appreciate you guys. First-time caller. By the way, I feel like I know every one of you. Yes. Yeah, I just want to say, it's just like what BC is saying there. I've been living in UK for the past 20 years now. And I'm married to my husband as well, over 20 years as well, you know. So I think it comes down to your circle, the kind of people you mingle with. My sister-in-law, she's here, she's been married over 30-something years. So, and this topic is not really, if your husband, you both have to respect each other regardless of what is going on. So it's not even about you living in abroad. The same person, probably because they are in Nigeria, they don't have the support system or whatsoever. I will tell you, even as a wife, if you don't do things properly, your husband could have the custody of the children.
Yeah.
Because you're a woman, that doesn't mean you will have the entire, you know, custody of the children or whatever. In saying that, it still boils down to individual. What you want from your marriage. Husband should respect the wife and wife vice versa. So my circle, all this, I have close family friends, about 15, and this is not even an issue. So at the end of the day, people who you mingle with goes along.
So let me ask you this question then. Bisola, what do you
sorry, I can't hear you.
What do you think is therefore the cause of those who have issues within their marriage, those who are having difficult to adapt? What could be the problem?
What could be the problem that have it?
Those who are having it difficult to adapt to the society, the new world that they are in.
Yeah, as we know, many Nigerian men, they have this ego. Just like what BC said, when they marry to somebody who is a foreigner, you know, let's say an English lady, the respect changes.
They remove the ego.
They will not care maybe you cook or you don't cook. They say, oh, she's English. We can find something to fix it up. But because the person is of your own race, you believe, no, she should understand. So I still think the fact still remains that they treat us differently from, you know, any other race. So I think our men need to come down from their ego. We're in a different society whereby we both work. The workload is there. Everybody is trying to make an ends meet. And you expect your wife to do the same thing they are doing in Nigeria, just like what you said, Morayo. There's support system. Family is there. And also they will say, go and beg your husband.
Thank you, Bisola.
But here,
Thank you very much, Bisola.
Sorry, I just want to add something. I know you would like to go, but I just wanted to use the plant analogy to answer her. So, you know, you guys know I have been doing my garden and everything and plants. There are some plants that when you get, they will tell you, this plant does well in the west. Weather. And so when you get it, and then it's expensive, when you get that plant, there's a way you treat it as a gardener. You know, you water it.
Because
in fact, I talk to some of these plants, oh, I hope you're doing well this morning, blah, blah, because I know you are not of here. And there has to be a different way I have to treat that plant to grow here. Meanwhile, I'm in a plant group and I see people who live abroad. They just leave that plant anyhow and it's just growing anyway. So sometimes I guess it's just the fact that you're a foreigner and let me treat you differently because all the bars of growing up in Africa, you didn't experience it long before I finish it. I just thought it was funny.
That was good. I wanted to just also mention that we are all a function of our environment. So we must be deliberate about building the right environment. So I mean, that's even right now, for every level of growth, you must create the environments that will nurture the growth. So if you want the plants to grow, you must create the environments, put the right people. That's number one. Number two is you must communicate what you desire. I can't fight Morayo for not doing what I didn't ask her to do. I can't assume that Morayo will know what I want. And in marriages, it is that lack of communicating expectations that tend to cause breakdown. So I must communicate. Before relocating, have a conversation. Guy at the SA marriage, they break up for there. This is how we will run Sam. So you must communicate your expectations before you have that.
Okay, point taken.
Let us have a a companionship mentality. So here, we marry most times out of convenience. I have to marry. My age has come. This is the only man available. Or me, I need a wife and all that. But especially when you are traveling, before you travel, if you can have the right foundation of your marriage, which is we are partners, we are companions, there is no way I am going to tomorrow that I'm going to have issues, because we already understand respect for one another. We already understand that we are partners and we do things together. We are playing for one team. Nobody's leaving one job for the other because of gender. So even if I relocate to Canada tomorrow, it's still the same system I'm going to take there. So while we are here, let us institute the right system for our marriages and change our ways.
I think both of you, or three of you, have said it all. I think that's the best way we can say it. But on my own end, I just feel that you're two adults. And if two adults agree to get something to work, it will work. I think, so if you're living abroad and you're finding it difficult, have the conversation, as Mariam has said over and over again, and let's be sure, and listen, if you feel this can't work and you're in this environment can't work for the values you've raised with, no problem, do what you got to do, but make sure that at the end of the day, you make a happy choice. Have a fabulous weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Bye for now.